What's up, guys? It's Horror King here, and today I'm doing a video I thought I'd never do. I'm doing an interview with David Howard Thornton from the horror movie Terrifier. So
Hey, how you doing?
I've got 18 questions here.
Great.
I wrote down. I'm panicking right now.
Fantastic. Let's get to it then.
Let's just get right down to it.
Woohoo!
So first thing, I thought, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
Oh gosh, so many different things. For a while, I wanted to be a fireman. Then I wanted to be like a chemical engineer. I don't know why that came to my mind, but I was like, I want to do chemical stuff. And then I wanted to be a veterinarian for a long time. And an actor, I started doing acting when I was like in middle school, but I was trying to be practical. I was like, okay, well, acting is not necessarily a stable career. So I went to college to become an elementary school teacher, and I got a degree in that and decided to instead pursue acting. So after I graduated college, I moved up to New York and pursued acting. So now I'm finally doing what I wanted to do.
When I was a kid, I'm not sure what I wanted to do. I think I remember when we were asked for it, I didn't think it through, and I just randomly said I wanted to be a builder. I think that's because my granddad were working,
Oh yeah,
stuff like that. And then I don't remember because now I want to be a writer and director. When I don't know.
that's great. You
I'm not.
never know.
I'm not. I'm not sure when I started wanting to be a director. That I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I just started like watching, started loving movies. I watched all the behind the scenes of everything, like watched interviews with actors and directors, and yeah, and I've just been getting really interested in doing it. And then I started looking at writers and that. 'Cause I think at the moment Christopher Nolan's my favorite director.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just I ain't seen that many of his movies though, but I've seen the Dark Knight trilogy, and
Right.
I'm wanting to see more. And I've read like the scripts for the Dark Knight because when I've been practicing writing, I've been like looking at how he wrote them and that, and like the way he writes his characters. And when I watch videos, it explains it more. And I was just blown away. It's just like the way he writes them. It's just incredible.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely so. And it's really also interesting to see like what they write on page, what they want to do originally, and then what you see actually on screen. Sometimes there's huge differences.
Yeah, because Heath Ledger improvised the blowing up the hospital scene, I think.
A little bit, what I understand is like that was supposed to happen. He was just really good at making it look like he was improvising there.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to happen, but it stopped, and then he just went along with it, and
Yeah.
then kept doing that, and then that bit happened.
Then boom. It's just like who knows, but whatever. If it was planned or not planned, that looks amazing. I love that bit right there. It's so funny.
Yeah, and like I've heard before, when didn't you improvise the middle finger on that how the clown did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just me goofing around with my co-star, and they caught it on film. So I was like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, when I watched that, saw that, I started laughing at that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my parents did.
It's like literally like right before you see the finger go up, he just goes cut, and I'm like, ha. And they just didn't cut video, so they got it on tape.
So next one I've got is: would you ever want to do a different movie genre other than horror?
Oh yeah, I would love to do comedy. I that's always been my big thing is comedy. For years when I was doing stage work, that's what I always did was comedy. So I would love to get back into doing that again. I love to make people laugh.
Yeah, I think for me, when I've been at the moment with my writing and directing, I'm mostly just wanting to be doing horror or DC movies because I'm a huge fan of DC right now.
Oh yeah, I would like to do that too. I'd like to play, a villain in one of those or something like that. Especially Joker.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, I've heard your voices and Last Joke, and it proper does make me think of it does sound a little bit like like the older versions of Mark Hamill's joke, you know,
Hmm.
when they were like more playful. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do sound really good actually.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
like your take on it.
Yeah. Mark's my favorite version of it. I think he was the best. You just can't beat Mark Hamill's Joker.
Yeah, for me, I prefer his new voice where it's more, you know, raspier, and the
Hmm.
way he plays it now, like in Batman: The Killing Joke. I
Yeah.
prefer how he plays it in that. I think the Joker's more scary like that because
Oh yeah.
he sounds angry, and then he goes to playful, but you know, it's just like you
Yeah.
can't. It's just so unpredictable, just the way.
I just think his voice is aged that way, so
Yeah,
it's worked to his benefit. Like when he played the Arkham games, if you ever played those games, that's how he sounded in those games too. He had a lot more texture, I guess you could say, to his voice.
I played Arkham Asylum. I'm
Hmm.
playing Arkham City now. But yeah,
Oh, so good.
I really liked Arkham Asylum actually.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Arc
I think.
City, I think it's the better one.
Mm, yeah, I've heard that for a lot of people. A lot of people
Yeah,
say it's the best one.
yeah,
I've been wanting to, and people are saying about the Arkham Origins has got the best boss battles, but it's unfortunate that
yeah.
it's
They
not.
do. They do have some like the boss battles in that are really good, like Copperhead and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, those are good boss battles in that too. Yeah,
Uh,
it's been forever since I played that game though.
it's not been remastered for
Yeah.
PS4 or 5, so I can't play it yet. So I've got the trilogy of them, but I'm hoping that gets made as well. So
Oh, definitely, definitely.
just
It's a great trilogy of games.
yeah, because they said that the fight apparently in that the boss battle between Batman and Deathstroke was supposed to be uh, similar to the boss fight in like Ben Affleck's The Batman movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what the actor of Deathstroke said. That it's supposed to be similar to that fight. I think that's what Ben Affleck wanted as well. That we're talking about that.
Yeah. Oh
To be
wow.
similar
That
to
would
that.
be cool. Because he was well cast as Deathstroke. It's a shame we don't really get to see him doing his Deathstroke. Because I was like, oh my god, he looks amazing as Deathstroke.
Yeah, lots of people don't like Ben Affleck's Batman as well, mostly because he kills and that. But you know, I
Hmm.
understand it more. And I saw a post on an Instagram story that kind of explained his like arc through it all, and it does seem like it's done really well. That you know, is this Batman's not just a regular Batman. He's been fighting for over 20 years.
Yeah.
He's more older and grizzly. He's, you know, Robinless and Joker beaten and faced
Yeah.
so many horrible people in Gotham, and it's just lost him now.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah. Next one I've got is: are there any horror characters that kind of inspired you when you were playing Art the Clown? Like when you said before that Miss, you kind of brought it as like an evil Mr. Bean, or
Hmm.
thinking a similar way of horror characters. Is there any horror character you looked at as inspiration when you were playing him, kind of like you did for Mr. Bean? Do you get me?
Oh yeah. I mean, definitely the first one that comes to mind is Freddy Krueger. I mean, we even have little nods to Freddy Krueger in Terrifier, like the whole beginning phase where I'm like getting ready to go. That's not Freddy Krueger when I'm chasing down my victim and I drag the blade across the glass. That was my little nod to Freddy Krueger and stuff like that.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, there's definitely some nods to Freddy, and yeah, because even the look of art, the angular look to him, there's some Freddiness to him. But I mean, I kind of look at art as being like a big, huge mishmash of all of the horror villains that came before him. There's
Mm.
bits of Mike Myers and Jason and Chucky and Leatherface and Pinhead and
Yeah.
Jigsaw. All those guys were inside of art.
Yeah, I think I could be, yeah, because it's the most similar to Michael, most maybe because he doesn't talk, but the way his
Hmm.
kind of personality is, if he could talk, he'd be quite close to Freddy, because Freddy's really goofy, but
Oh
in a
yeah.
good way with his kills and that, and
Oh definitely.
he just tries to wind him up and mess with him. But
Yeah, I kind of look at art as like a big huge love letter to horror slashers.
yeah,
So that's who he is.
I think I remember before when I think this is when I first, because years ago I saw, like, I didn't know who he was. I saw a
Mhm.
clip from All Hallows Eve because I saw like a top 10 scariest clowns. It showed
Yeah.
art, it was in his segment. And at first I was younger then and I was actually creeped out. And I was actually like, I think, because normally when I've seen horror killers, they always go after, you know, teenagers and adults. But Art the Clown, you know,
Right.
he would go after literally anybody he wants. He'd have
Yep.
no boundaries, and that just creeped me out a lot. And I was just like, you know, he's not afraid to do all that stuff to a child as well. So I was just
Oh
like,
no.
oh, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, no one is safe around him.
Yeah, I can tell. I remember my me and my mate's reaction when we first saw the hacksaw scene in Terrifier. Even I looked away at a point when I first saw it, because I was just like, oh my god, I ain't seen this before.
That's great. Then we did it right.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. I first watched it with my mate when he came to my house, but I fell asleep because I was tired and I'd laid down and I just went down fast. And then I woke up and I was just like, "Has it killed anyone yet?" It's like, "Oh yeah, it's killed a lot."
They're like, oh my god.
And then when they came again, he was just like, "Put that clown one where he's in the pizzeria. I like that one." So we put
Yeah.
that on. He fell asleep. We were left watching it, and then we watched it through and we saw that, and I was like, "What is happening? What is he doing to this woman?"
You know, things. Very bad things.
Yeah, and I remember seeing a comment before saying, because like the part of Art the Clown just smiling and like just jumping up and down as if he's you know, just like a little kid while he's doing it. That someone said the face of Art enjoying it would traumatize Satan. Someone said that. It's just like, you know, just like that. Yeah, that were a disturbing part as well. It's just the fact that he just had so much fun doing it, and the more he did it,
Yeah.
just, yeah.
I think that's what makes him scarier. Is that
Yeah.
this is not out of revenge. It's out of just fun. He's doing this to entertain himself.
Yeah, that's what I prefer about characters. That's it. That's it. I think that's the only thing that I didn't like about Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, that they made him more sympathetic and he's doing that out of revenge.
Mhm.
Even though I think at the end when he kills the nurse or psychiatrist, you can tell that's when he's become more Joker. But I prefer it when serial killers they don't do it, you know, to get revenge. They just do it because that's what they like doing.
Yeah.
And I think because when they're more sympathetic, they've got more of a chance of reasoning with them and bringing them back to sanity.
That's
But
very true.
when it's someone like Art who just does it because he enjoys it, you can't just can't do anything.
You can't reason with them.
Yeah, like the cat lady tried, and that ended up bad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, quite bad. Yeah. Next is, I like this question. Do you think there would be a kill that even you and Damien would say like, "Oh, that's way too far even for us"?
Oh. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, we have one that we're like, I don't know if we can get away with this in part 2, but we're doing it anyway. So yeah, we're like, we'll see if we can get away with this. You know, we know, like, if we tried to put this in a rated R movie, we would definitely get in trouble. So
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, you got to cut that bit out. And we're like, okay. Yeah. It's like, I think probably the scarier stuff to do is anything that you do to little kids.
Oh god, yeah. I think for me, like, I'm fine with seeing like, no, you know, the characters in Terrifier, even though they're not adults, they're still good. They're still disturbing enough. But for me, I could still watch them. But if say that happened to a kid, that'd be too far for me. For me, kids is where that draws the line for me.
Yeah.
I'll happily see an adult get sawed in half, but not kids and dogs in movies is when it gets too far.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah. What was the most memorable or best moment or moments when you were filming Terrifier?
Oh, probably the best, like, memorable moment was the night where cops were called. Because I was sitting in the dressing room while they're doing the kill scene with Jenna, where she gets shot in the face. And so I'm in full makeup. I already got the blood and everything on me. And there are 2 ladies outside of the room because, like, about 1 o'clock in the morning, they're having an argument. So I'm bored. So I go to watch the argument. I forget how I look. And they look up and see me, and I wave at them. They freak out and go running off. And like 10 minutes later, like the the like Damien and our producers come in. They're all giggling. They're like, "Hey, Dave, we got some people out here that want to meet you. Like, just don't come out until we tell you to." I'm like, "Okay." So they tell me to come out. I roll up this garage door, and I come out. They're like 15 of New Jersey's finest in like full on riot gear, like they're ready to go to war. And there's like this dead silence, and so I just squeak out this little "What's up, guys?" just to try to diffuse the situation. There's still dead silence, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm going to die!" And then they just all start laughing at me, and I'm like, "Oh, thank God." Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, if you had come out first instead of your director, we would have probably shot you on sight." I'm like, "I can understand that, looking the way I look right now."
Yeah. Yeah, just in that costume, completely just drenched in blood.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And the bad thing was, we didn't have any running water in the building we were filming in, so we had a porta potty outside, and that's where they showed up. So, and like just shortly before that, I had used the bathroom, and I'm like, "Oh man, I'm so glad they didn't show up when I had gone to the bathroom. That would have been disastrous." I would come out like, "I'm gonna go back in now. I got more work to do in here." Because
I
you
was
just
just
scared the crap out of me.
I was just picturing when you were, I was just picturing like Art's wave to the women who are arguing when he does like that with his smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Oh, I
that's
didn't do that. I was just like, "Hi."
yeah, I think that's one of my favorite. I think that's one of my favorite things Art does. Like when he's killed Tara and the
Yeah,
cat lady sees him, he just looks over like that and then he's just like,
I love that bit too. That was fun to do. I was excited about doing that part because I was like, that's gonna be a good look, little
yeah,
wave. Yeah, we had to bring that for part two as well. We had to do it
oh yeah,
again.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're in the trailer of that as well
Hmm.
when I forgot the character's name.
Sienna is her
Tiana,
name.
that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It's just laying all the way with arms folded and then just brings it up like that.
yep.
Yeah,
S-
I was
It's like,
just
yeah,
yeah. I saw that when I saw the trailer. I was just like,
it's like I've got you now.
yeah,
You don't want to get that wave.
yeah. Once you see that, your life's over.
Yeah, you're like, okay, sorry, just take me now.
I surrender.
Yeah.
This one, I also like this one as well. It's to do with the kills. Do you have any ideas for like an extremely gruesome kill or a kill that could top the hacksaw scene and the new kill that we still have yet to see?
Yeah, I have a fun idea for a kill, but I don't want to say what it is yet. But I will say it is based on a routine from a Marx Brothers film that I would love to bring to life, but do my own dark twist to it. I am determined to do this kill eventually.
Yeah,
I can't say more.
I wanted to think of that as well because I thought that'd be a fun thing to do, but I was struggling as well. And I thought of that kill. I think I've told you it before. It involved the wood
I
chipper.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
did tell me that. Yeah, yeah.
I thought I was thinking of that. It was based because before when I was watching loads of interviews and podcast about you and Damien and Terrifier, and seeing all the
Mm.
behind the scenes that were making me want to just like get in that vibe of being behind the scenes of making a movie or writing a script. So me and my dad were bringing ideas around for this horror movie called The Gardener. It'd
Hmm.
basically just be like a killer gardener. And then
Yeah.
we were thinking he disposed of his bodies in a wood chipper. And then I thought of that and I was thinking Art comes past, like I said, Art comes past a barn or something that has a wood chipper.
Yeah.
And then the guy puts up a good fight with Art, and Art gets injured, but he manages to get the upper hand. And then he puts him in. But I thought to make it even worse, feet first, because that if you put it in head first, you get killed
Oh
instantly.
yeah.
But feet first, that'd be so painful.
Oh god, that would be horrible.
I just thinking he just keeps pushing him in and pushing him in, and I just think to make it that more gory, just keep doing it until there's like just nothing left, and there's just blood everywhere.
Yeah. Oh my
I was
god.
just thinking, oh, that would be
Oh.
disturbing.
That would be bad. That would be very, very bad.
Yeah. Another one. Is there a horror movie that has given you nightmares or scared you to the point where you had to turn it off?
No, not yet. Not nightmares or scare. I mean, like nothing that's scared me so much I had to turn it off. I've had some that have bored me enough to turn it off, though.
Oh yeah, we've had a few of them.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like when people are trying to be too artistic with it, and it's just like,
Yeah,
okay, you're not telling a story. You're just trying to frame beautiful shots. I'd rather have a good story instead of having this boring plot that's going along. It's like, oh my god.
yeah, yeah. 'Cause for me, I just love Terrifier, even if it doesn't have loads of a story. It's just fun.
Hmm.
It's just like you said, it's like a throwback to just one of them fun 80s serial killer movies where the
Oh
killer's
yeah.
just crazy and just killing loads of people instead of
That was the point. It's
yeah,
a throwback to those type of films. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, it's like most people don't go to slasher films for the plot anyway. You go there for the
exactly.
kills and the having fun. It's like when we were getting those kind of critiques, I was like, yeah, you're not a big horror slasher film fan, are you? Because you don't
Yeah,
understand the genre.
yeah. 'Cause it's like yeah, because like I've seen loads of videos that say that, but then it says they make up for it in the gore. It's just like, oh yeah, they definitely do. Because I've seen films where they don't have a
Hmm.
plot, but they don't have anything else either.
Yeah,
The acting's bad, the writing's bad, and it's just really boring. Because because then when we were bored, we saw loads of films on this thing, and we put some on, and we never finished any of them.
yeah.
I think the two I can remember we finished was We Summon the Darkness. That I didn't enjoy that one that much, but
Mm.
I'm not too into like like cultists and when it's like these when it's like these people who are just doing it to impress the devil or something like that. I don't like
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
And then have you seen Freaky with Vince Vaughn?
No, I have not yet.
That's a good one. We saw that and we
That's good to
watched
hear.
that through. That's a good one. That it's funny and the kills are actually quite gory as well. Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
yeah,
Gotta love those.
yeah. The was surprisingly brutal. I was like in the first like opening, these teenagers were getting killed, and they were it was surprising. They were more brutal than I thought they were going to be. And I was watching, it's like
Mm.
whoa, yeah. I don't think they can be as gory as Terrifier though. I don't think
Yeah.
any horror movie has. I just think
I think we're gonna set the bar higher for people with part two with the gore.
oh that's I'm looking forward to. For me, I saw an interview where I think this is one I watched again the other day actually when I was thinking about this interview and I was just like I'll get in that mindset and I watched one of the interviews again and I wanted to watch that one.
Mm.
I watched it. I can't remember who it were with, but I watched it on Spotify and you were talking about a kill there where the victim's just screaming and wailing the entire time and I think for me that's one of the things where I'm just like because when it's like when I first saw the hacksaw scene, when I was watching it, I didn't realize how horrible it
Hmm.
actually is. I mean, I did, but when I'm thinking about the pain that a person would have to go through for that, I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what are you doing?
Oh, that's like I said, Terrifier 2 is gonna make you do that then.
Yeah, I love it when movies make us do that though. Like me and like, when I watch a film and the killer's just like, ooh,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
You gotta have something that makes people cringe. It's like when you
yeah,
make people cringe, you did it right. You made
yeah.
it believable.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. Yeah, in this action film I watched where he wanted to kill, but this guy when he were in prison and he got curb stomped and the teeth went out and it was just like,
Oh.
oh,
Mm.
oh.
Mm.
I
I
think
just
the
went to the dentist yesterday, so that makes me go, oh.
I think the worst part is the build up to it when you know exactly what's going to happen because that's what we do. We're going down and going down closer to the and then we were just like, oh no, we know what's going to happen.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
I
same.
can't stand seeing that kind of like anything that has to do with like teeth or eyes or
Oh,
fingernails or broken bones
yeah.
that makes me just cringe.
Yeah, like I see, like I think a big thing for me is when someone lands funny on the arm or the leg and it just bends the wrong way.
Mm.
It's the look of it and the noise. It's just
Yeah. It's like basically anything that I've experienced myself, because then I kind of identify with that pain and I'm just like, oh
yeah.
God.
Yeah, so I got to show this. I think she was a gymnast once. I got to show this by my mate's dad, and she like landed on her legs wrong, and the both bent the wrong
yeah.
way, and I was just
Oh,
like,
I've seen that. I'm just like, and I didn't know what I was gonna watch when I saw that video too. So
Yeah,
it's
never
like,
did I.
oh God, no, why?
I'm just like, why are you showing me this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. It's
Guess one
horrible.
of my friends like, oh, you gotta see this. This is hilarious. I'm like, okay, cool, okay, cool. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. Have you seen Hellfest as well?
Hellfest, yes.
Yeah, like the kill when that guy got a syringe to the eye. Oh, that one making me cringe as well. It's just the needle alone.
Oof.
Yeah, that would just make.
It's like the game Dead Space 2 where you have to they make you insert a needle into your eye at one point in the game. I'm also like, oh, why did you do this to me? Because you can't you have to get it perfectly right or you impale yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's just like and I did that a few times. Like, man, I got to keep doing this over and over again. It's like, why?
It's
Why?
reminded me of in Saw 2. Have you seen the Saw movies?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
In the opening of Saw 2, when you had the Venus flytrap on his head, and he had to get the key out literally like under his eye,
Yeah.
like with a scalpel or in his eye. It's just
Oh.
like I think the reverse bear trap's the one I'd want to be in the most, because that's still horrible, but you're not doing pain to yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just like that one's not as bad. But like I'm not good with needles, so the needle pick one's a bit cringe
Oh
for
yeah.
me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always had a
That one
feeling.
and with the box where you have to have it's like if you pull your hand out, it's all this glass shards and stuff. So
Oh yeah,
I was like,
that one annoyed me more. That one annoyed me more than anything, because
yeah.
the first part is a bit like that's your natural instinct, but then
Mm-hmm.
she'd already ruined it, and then she stuck her other hand through, and I'm just like, why are you putting your other hand in?
Yeah. Oh, it's just like, oh, you idiot.
And I can't tell if I hate them. I can't tell if I hate them or if I love them moments where it makes you hate the character because of how stupid they are.
Yeah.
I think it's a 50-50 for me.
It just depends how it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched a video that explained it, and it showed that when Lawrence cut off his foot in the first Saw, that it could have used the saw to grab it. But then I think his is more logical, because I think in that moment you've been in there for hours, with a random guy. Your family's being held hostage by a random crazy man who you know from work.
Yeah.
So and then you can't get out. So the only thing you can think to do is just cut your foot off, especially
Yeah.
when your phone's ringing.
Oof.
You just want to make
Just
sure your
brutal.
family's okay. And
Oh, I had a visitor. She likes to make her appearances from time to time.
yeah.
She doesn't care.
Yeah, my dog does that sometimes as well. I'm on
Yeah.
Zoom. I'm on Zoom at kickboxing, and my like last year, my dog kept doing that. He just kept walking in randomly. At one
Oh,
point,
yeah.
one point, he like went right close to the camera. You could just see his face just moving side to side like that. I was just like, oh my god, no. Yeah. I have to make sure I lock in the kitchen. We have to lock in the kitchen and conservatory now.
Oh yeah, I understand.
Yeah, it's just like I'm trying to do a jumping kick here. Move. Yeah, I think I've kicked him a few times as well. Actually,
Oh no!
accident.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, I just turned around to do like a side kick or something, or a back kick, and he's just there, and I'm just like, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
sorry. It's like, what?
Yeah, I was like, oops. I forgot which kill I'm right now. I mean, question.
Which kill we're on?
Was there a kill in the first or second movie that made you turn away or feel sick or disturbed?
In Terrifier, there's something we do in the second one, which I was even just kind of like, when I had to do it. I just
Is it the kill that's supposed to rival the hacksaw scene?
Yeah, it happens during that kill. Yeah, it was very made me cringe a lot, and it's just like then I saw the playback of it. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I were having ideas, because this was like way after it came out, because I saw the Indiegogo campaign for Terrifier 2, the video. But this was just when I was finding out about Art the Clown properly, and I'd seen Terrifier and All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
I saw it, and when you were gonna say one of the kills, and when Damien was, but it like bleeped it out when he just said he starts slap, and to me, I was just thinking I was just thinking of a kill in Wrong Turn 2. Have you seen the Wrong Turn 2?
Yes.
Where one of the, I forgot what they're called now as well. I'm just hillbillies or something.
Yeah. Works.
Yeah. It comes up behind one of the girls who was just like sunbathing, and he starts slicing up the back like that. I was just picturing that, and then the spine shows, and then I don't know why, I can't remember when this came to my mind, but he like grabs the spine and just rips it out, kind of like Predator style, but more mean like. And then I was just thinking, oh my god, the sound that'd make. I was just like, oh, that'd be so horrible to see, especially if the victim was still alive.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I see dead bodies in like stuff, that's bad enough. But when I know they're still alive,
Yeah.
that's when I'm just like, oh no.
Like, oh, they can feel that.
Yeah, yeah. Especially with creepypastas I watch, because I'm noticing like every single creepypasta, they kill a kid, and it's always in not a nice way, like that no one should suffer. And then they're all half of the time they're still alive, so they're feeling it. I'm just like, oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I was thinking that. I don't know why. I just kept picturing it in my head, and then Damien posted the picture of when you was out where holding the person's hand as well. And me and my dad were just like, it looks like he's pulling a hand apart or something. And I was just like, oh god, I was just thinking that's what he's gonna do with
Who knows?
it.
We'll see.
And then I was just starting to think, is it gonna go as slow as possible with everything? And then I was just thinking, oh my god, this is just like, I think this is going to make us turn away. Yeah, we love all the gory kills.
Yeah. Oh, just wait.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm throwing up.
Yeah.
This one. What is your favorite horror movie movie of all time?
Oh boy, I don't have an absolute favorite because there's so many good ones out there that they're equal. But my top 5, I like to usually say, are like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one, Omen, Exorcist, original Halloween, and Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors.
I've never seen the Omen.
Oh, so good. It's creepy. It's a totally different type of movie though, but it's kind of a wonderful decapitation scene in it.
Yeah, I've seen a clip of I've seen clips of it before where I think it was like a glass piece came across it. Yeah, it just went straight, just clean up.
It's like, oh, and you don't see that coming either. Just like,
just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure what mine are. I think I'm not sure what my top 5 or top 10 are. My favorite horror film always keeps changing. At the minute, it's The Devil's Rejects. And I think for me, the last 20 half an hour minutes when Sheriff Wardell kidnaps the fireflies and brings them, I think just the acting, the music, and just because you never ever see that in a movie before.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, these horrible sadistic people, they always just get away with it. But then this time they're actually getting a taste of what it's like, and they're actually showing pain. It's just the acting from all of them. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
And I just love it all. The music, just everything. I think Sheriff Wardell is one of my favorite characters from any horror film as well. I think he might be my favorite horror hero. Vigilante.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think my favorite. I think Art the Clown is my favorite horror villain of all time.
Well, thank you.
I think.
Good answer.
I think it's just his brutality, and he's just the way he does his kills. It's like when I saw a kill count from it, and when the guy on Dead Meat, James A. Janisse, he just says he kills him with so many face stabs. It's just like, it's true that that's what he does. He'll just like, normally they'll do 1 or 2 and then be done with it. I just keep going and going and going and going until the face is just ripped open. And it's just like,
yep, that's our. He likes to play with his food, as I like to say.
Yeah, yeah. Freddy Krueger does as well. That's another thing in Freddy Krueger. Though Freddy does it more verbally and just kind of like messes with the mind a bit to make it more. But art just that art just makes you feel anything possible until it's bored.
Yep. And he's like, okay, moving on to the next.
Yeah, it's like that's enough for one day.
Yep.
I'll pick this up again tomorrow.
Leftovers.
Yeah. What is your favorite kill of the first movie? And if it is what I think it is, what is your favorite kill besides the kill?
It's not what you think it is. It's not the hacksaw scene. I think my favorite kill is the decapitation scene with the exterminator.
Yeah, I love that kill as well.
Yeah, it's just a really cool one. It's it's brutal. It's just like popping in the head with the first blade just to hold him still. Then I mean that's that first that idea of this dagger just going right into the top of someone's head and
then
stabilize it.
And then he kind of drags it across a little bit as well.
Yeah, and just starts just sawing his head off and
and it's just like
pulls it back like a Pez dispenser and then
it just goes straight back like
pops
that and
it right off.
Rips it off.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's a cool scene. Plus, like the actor I did that to, he's Mike Levy, his production company, Fuzzlelands Film. So I'm actually doing another film with them right now. But it's called Stream. But he and his brother and their friend, their company were the guys that started the whole scary clown craze a few years ago, where a guy was just dressing up as a clown and standing out in public. He was the Staten Island Clown. He was the first one that did that. Before Wrinkles the Clown, before any of that. They were doing that before anybody.
So he was the one who started the thing, where, sometimes you're advised not to dress up as a clown in case someone touches you or something. They started that.
They started that, yeah. They were the ones just standing out in public, freaking people out, dressed up as a scary clown.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Might bring that back alive now.
Yeah. So it's a fun little Easter egg in there that I decapitate the rich.
Yeah. He
Staten Island Clown.
Yeah, he started with him and ends with him, I guess.
Yep.
Could say
exactly.
Yeah. Have you got one of them Jason masks like that now?
Oh yeah, that's made by that right there is made by one of my friends, Rick, who makes these for like conventions and stuff like that. He does different theme ones with different characters.
I've got one of Pennywise up on the wall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got this at a convention as well.
Oh, that's so cool. That's a really good one.
Yeah, there were a couple there. I just saw this one. I'm just like, I'll get this one.
Yeah, I think it's a fun idea for to do because you do so many different characters with those types of masks. That's what Rick does. He goes to different conventions and sells. It's 13X Studios.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to wear the Art the Clown one you've got, and then just put the top out on top. I was just picturing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd look fun. It'd be a cool thing to put the Jason mask on, paint it as art or something. Maybe put his top hat on, and then have some weapons or parts of the costume that other serial killers have, and just be one big bundle of all the famous horror killers.
Yeah.
And maybe have some, maybe have some pins coming out the mask for Pinhead. Maybe draw. I don't want to cover up art, but maybe to draw some stitches on there for Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
Just have a mixture of all, or maybe Chucky's baby outfit type thing with the good guys logo.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. Yeah, might do that because we were thinking because mine and my dad's birthday is 2 days after mine, so we're thinking at one point when the pandemic's pretty much over, we want to just do a big horror party and invite loads of people and tell them to dress up as things and that. And I think that'd be cool to do. At first, I actually wanted to go as art as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah, I've been that's when I've been looking around for all the stuff on eBay, stuff as close as possible, to it, the black and white, and just dirty rotten teeth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Trick or Treat Studios is about to start selling the teeth as well as a little thing you can put in.
Yeah. Are they for
costume?
Do they sell to the UK as well?
I don't know. That's a good question. I imagine you could still find it on Amazon or something like that later on. So who
Yeah,
knows?
so things I've seen that Art the Clown figure, but you were just saying dollars and that, so I was just like, oh, it looks good. Like, so I'm just hoping if it's just for the US, I'm just hoping that NECA
Yeah,
makes an Art the
I
Clown figure.
think somehow it's getting released in the UK as well.
Mm,
I can't remember who's doing it, but I guess it's like an affiliate of Trick or Treat Studios, if not them. So
mm,
it should be. I because I think someone posted something saying that it was coming to the UK as well.
mm.
So yay!
Yeah, I was thinking as well, NECA should make a figure of Art the Clown, just like of the when he cuts Dawn in half.
Yeah.
When he's make him crouch down like he is, put the hacksaw in his hand, and have Dawn just like have a stand thing kind of like that, just so she
Hmm.
can hang off it. She's cutting half all the way to the head and make it so the hacksaw can just slot into the head, so it can stand there like that.
Oh
Just
yeah,
have
that'd be great.
yeah. Because I've got two cabinets just full of horror characters in that. I was
Oh,
just
cool.
yeah, it'd be good to just look and see all them standing there, just see Art the Clown in the corner cutting Dawn in half. Go
As you
forth
do.
with it.
As you do.
Next one. This one's more back onto more comics and that now.
Okay.
I know this is. Oh, I know this is a different question.
Oh, okay.
Did you go to any Comic Cons as a kid, or have you been as an adult? And if so, what was the best thing you remember from going?
I went to a few like cons as a kid. I think my first one I ever went to was a Star Trek convention because my best friend at the time, growing up, was like, this is when my grandmother was really sick in the hospital, and so she was about to pass away, and he wanted to distract me, so he took me to a Star Trek convention,
Mm,
and I got to meet James Doohan there, who played Scotty, which was really cool. So I thought that was kind of cool. But I did some like comic conventions and stuff like that later on up here in New York, especially like WinterCon and stuff like that. And I would sometimes cosplay as Joker at
mm.
those. So that was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, I always used to. I always yeah. Every time we'd have a well booked day at school. I'd always cosplay as Joker, and for Halloween
Hmm.
I'd just dress up as Joker.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, just yeah,
It's fun. It's just
yeah,
fun to dress as. You can, and like how people respond to you when you're dressed as that. You gotta just have fun with it and play
yeah,
around with people.
yeah. Every time I go, I'd always see Jokers and Harlequins.
Hmm.
My mum would find someone dressed as Harlequin, stopping just like, oh, it's a mini Mr. J. Look, it's a mini you
Yeah.
walking around.
It's really funny when I've gone to conventions and I've seen people cosplay as art. I'm like, that's really cool. I've
Yeah,
seen some kids even cosplay as art. I'm like, that's
but
amazing.
no, 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 amazing that the parents let them watch that.
Yeah. Oh, it is. I was just talking to a parent last night. I met them 2 years ago in Chicago, and at the time their daughter was 4 years old, and she was a huge fan of Terrifier. So she was like my youngest fan. Now she's 6, but
Jeez,
she's still a huge fan and everything. I'm like, that's so crazy. And
crazy.
she's like, it. Oh, and you would never expect because like she was like the sweetest little, cutest little girl, and you would never expect that girl was like a huge horror fan.
Jesus, like even back then
Yeah.
I think I started liking horror when I was about 9. I think
Mhm.
if I were 4, I would have never slept again if I saw Terrifier.
Oh yeah. I was like, really? You've seen this? Like her mom's like, yeah, she's seen it so many times. I'm like, really?
I don't know. It's just like, how is she? How is she not crazy yet?
Yeah. She was like obsessed with me. She was like, she'd just constantly come over to my table. Hi, Art. Hi.
Yeah, yeah. I love going to comic cons. I went to a horror con not last year, the year before. I think I met Ed Neal from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Oh yeah.
and the Hitchhiker. Yeah, I had a DVD actually of it. It's like a slipcase one. I got the outside of it signed and asked if I could get the inside as well. He said I'd probably get charged more, but I'm unsure if it was his agent or why. But she whispered something to him and he just looked down and went, shh, and then he signed the inside of it and I didn't have to pay anything more.
Cool.
We were talking.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. It's really
Yeah, he
good.
is. Yeah, and then we took a picture as well. He just goes, "What's for dinner?"
You know, he does a lot of voiceover work as well for like video games and cartoon series. Yeah. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, he's good. He's good in the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
so
just the way
freaky.
he just acts, just so crazy and just
Hmm.
edgy. Just not the guy you want to pick up on the street.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
Especially though. Just he has like a big blood streak like coming down his face. I don't know. It's just like
Mhm.
I'm surprised they never asked him about that. In the movie, I'm just like, if that were me, that'd be one of the first things I'd ask. Just
Yeah.
like, what happened to your face?
Well, stuff. A bird. I ran into a bird on a roller coaster like Fabio. That's what happened.
Yeah, also, when I went to Comic Con, I met Dave Prowse for playing Darth Vader before as well.
Oh wow! Because he just recently passed away.
Yeah, in November or December, I think. Yeah, I got a picture framed and signed. Yeah, it's in my room as well.
Wow, that's a treasure.
Yeah, I've got a picture with him as well. Yeah, that's what I posted on Facebook. Just like, this is a treasure now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was great. It's just like he doesn't get nearly the recognition he deserves for playing up Vader.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. They always think of James Earl Jones, and it's like, he was just the voice.
Yeah, I never knew about back then. I never knew about James Earl Jones. To be honest, I wasn't interested in the actors, and but I saw him and saying he played Darth Vader, and that's when I knew him first. And I thought of him more than because I got his autograph and got a picture. So I thought of him more than James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love going. Yeah, I love going to Comic Cons. It's so fun, especially now I'm more of a comic fan now because I've started reading comics now as well. Because back then I just grew up with Batman as a kid and Joker. I'd watched the Adam West and 60s movies and shows. I watched that all the time at my granddad's. I started watching Tim Burton's Batman. I used to be scared of the Penguin in Batman Returns, though.
Oh, it's terrifying! Like when he bites the guy's nose.
Yeah, that bit really got me. I know. It's just like,
and then he starts eating the fish. It's just like, oh god.
Yeah, because I was just like, for me, I was really like not good with stuff like that. So when he bit the nose and the blood just shot out over there, just like,
I remember seeing that as a kid, and I was like, oh.
And I had a similar reaction with my dad when I was young. My dad first showed me a clip from Jaws. It was when Quinn gets eaten, and I could never watch that again. I was watching just like,
it's just
what's happening?
Poor Quint.
I know. People always say the worst kills the opening, but I'm just like, what about Quint?
Poor Quint.
I know, it's just like, I know Chris's is bad, but she gets dragged around for a bit, then she, you get dragged under. But Quint is just brutal on his own shift. He's failing to do what his literal job is and what he's getting paid to do, and he's like I said before, he's screaming. Especially, I've seen some like other scenes when you were just like screaming and spitting blood everywhere. And it was so high pitched. I never wanted to hear it because it was just so horrible.
Wow,
how loud he was screaming.
That's Damien's one of his favorite movies of all time is Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws is so good.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know, especially I love I love the film, but when it gets to like the proper thing everyone knows from Jaws, when it's just Brody, Quint, and Hooper, just it's just something about just those three guys on a boat, trying to catch a shark, but also having a party, just on the boat all the time. Just seeing three guys. But I think that's just a thing that even though it's so simple, it seems so creative at the same time. When it's just, it's like you never see that. You never see a movie where a shark's attacking and then three different men, a police chief, a fisherman, and a marine biologist go out to catch a shark.
Yeah. And it's so well done. So well done.
Just such a good movie.
It really is.
And this one, I've heard that you're a Batman fan. Have you read any? Well, before, have you read any comics? And if so, what's your favorite one?
Oh God, yeah, I read a lot of those, especially back in the day. But yeah, definitely Batman. I think my favorite of the Batman comics though is the Death of the Family story arc. Yeah, it's the one where Joker has
Yeah.
torn off his face and he's reattached and
Oh,
everything. But it's
that.
like,
I
yeah,
was thinking of Death in the
yeah,
Family.
Death in the Family, yeah, which is a great one too.
Yeah.
But Death of the Family, it's just like it because it really gets down to the nitty gritty between like the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Joker, or
I've not
Batman and
seen.
Joker.
I've not started reading that yet. Actually, I need to start reading the Batman New
Oh,
52.
it's great. It really delves deep into their relationship because like Joker has kidnapped the whole entire Bat family because he thinks that they make Batman weak. They have changed him and made him weak, and he's better off without them. And he does not. That's why he's like, I want you back to being Batman. I
Mm,
like because you better me, so I need you to be at the top of your game. And these people make you weak,
mm.
and it gets more into their relationship, and I love it. It's just a great story arc.
Yeah, there's something here. Yeah, I'm not sure if it means because I started recording after we started. It says as I say it to an hour because I didn't realize that because I thought
Hmm.
it'd be done faster. I tried to set it to 2, but
Yeah.
it was taking forever to save, and then you were trying to join, so I was just like, oh, I don't know what to do. So if I'm unsure if it'll stop when it gets to an hour or not.
Oh, okay. I think
So,
sometimes you can extend it, but I don't know.
yeah, I think I can extend it, but it would take a long time to save. So if so, we could I if so we could I could either we could either end it when it's about to get there, and
Okay.
maybe just maybe do a part 2 of it, but like with the remaining questions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we could do. Do you want to do the part two today or later on?
uh, I'm not bothered. It's up to you.
Yeah,
You can,
yeah, I can do part two.
yeah, so we can, yeah. So when it's I'll let you know when it's like the last minute or two,
Okay,
and then we can carry on. So I
sounds
think
good.
yeah. Which one am I on? Question. Uh, this one. I think at the time I was trying to think. When I was reading this back over the other day, I wasn't sure if it were a necessary question or not. I
Hmm.
was just trying to think of as much questions as possible because I didn't want it to just be over in like 10 minutes.
Right.
It's not. Then again, I'm making it sound like it's really bad.
Oh, that's fine.
It's just said. It's just. Do you have a memorable moment from your childhood, or what is your most memorable moment from your childhood?
Oh gosh, I mean, so many. I'll try to think if I can make it more like horror related though. I think it was the movie God, Poltergeist,
Mm,
because my parents were watching that with friends. They had a big, huge screening at our house when it came out on VHS, and I snuck out of my room to watch it with them. I was like maybe like 5 years old or something like that,
mm,
and it freaked me out. With the whole clown scene and stuff like that. That scared me, but and also with Caroline being pulled into the TV, and my mom used that moment in the film against me. Because I used to sit in front of our TV, and she would tell me, David, now if you sit too close to the TV, you'll get pulled inside of the TV like the little girl from Poltergeist. And I believed her. And for about a few years, I would not sit near the TV because I was afraid of being pulled into the TV.
yeah, the original Poltergeist is another I need to watch as well. I think I've seen the remake
Oh,
because I
the original
remember
is so much better.
yeah, when it was coming out, I saw the trailer on TV, and because it was like more modern and the more jump scary type thing. When the girl got dragged upstairs, I saw that, and I
Yeah.
was just I couldn't go to sleep at night. I was there thinking it was gonna happen. It's just like when it gets like pulled in and to the wall, and then a drill start coming through, and I just had that stuck in my head, but I managed to
Yeah.
got convinced to go to sleep. I
Well,
think
it's just a freaky movie.
the first horror movie I watched was either Nightmare on Elm Street or
Hmm.
1990. I can't remember. It was between them two. Because when I were a kid, my mum didn't like me watching it, but some and especially it because my mum hates similar to me hates the idea of him just eating kids.
Hmm.
She was just like, you can never go near that film. But my dad started showing me short clips. I'd seen a clip from the second part when I think adult Ben was in the kind of the balloon popped up next to him. I'd seen
Yeah.
that clip. I think I'd seen the opening scene where he kills that little girl off screen. And then I think I'd seen the Georgie scene as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen the new It movies.
Oh, of
Chapter
course.
1 and 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I think them two are two of my favorite horror movies as well.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Chapter 2. It's made it out to be like awful, but I like it. I can
Right.
see why people think it's bad. I think my only problem is the death of Pennywise. It was a bit. It sounds good on paper, but when you actually see it and what it is, when he's just turning
Yeah.
into a baby, people are just laughing through it. It's just because
Yeah.
but I think they probably shouldn't have done that. I think I always just pictured it being, him as a giant spider, but then managing to get the upper hand and just having like, some knives and that gun and just finding rods in there, and they just completely just rip him apart and just like
Yeah.
then rip his heart out and then he's dead. I just thought I felt and I do like the idea of it being a half spider and half Pennywise.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather that than him being just a spider.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. I kind of like that look better than what they did in the original one.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
that spider was quite ridiculous, but
Yeah.
I mean, it were a tight budget miniseries, so
Yeah. You can
it's,
excuse it.
yeah, for the money they had, it's
Yeah.
I think I can see why people think the first It's better because that kind of Stranger Things vibe to it didn't really work with the adults in the second one. It works more with the kids.
Oh, definitely. So it's even in the book, the more interesting parts is the stuff with the kids, anyway.
Yeah, I ain't read the book. I've been trying to read
Yeah.
because I've always said Stephen King's my favorite author, but I've never actually read a book. But that
Oh,
one
it's
when I was a
good.
kid, I've
It's
been
very
wanting
good.
to, but I just get frustrated when I'm reading because like it doesn't bore me, but it's just words and words and words, and
Hmm.
they're just like I started reading it and I've got to third chapter on it, but I stopped reading it because I was just starting to get frustrated.
Yeah. Oh, he's very wordsy at times, or he's very descriptive.
Yeah, I think it's at 59 minutes now, so it
Okay.
might end. So in case it does, I'm just gonna say, well, we'll continue this in a few minutes, so we'll be doing
Cool.
part 2. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, and I know somehow people have been able to extend these things. I just don't know how they do it.
I'm not sure actually. It's still going, but it's
Yeah.
still going actually. But I'm not fully sure.
Yeah, I have no idea because I sometimes a little thing pops up and says, "Oh, this session has been extended indefinitely," or something like that. I'm like, "Oh, well, cool."
Yeah,
So I guess that's
just,
something you would have to do on your end.
yeah, so I'll just say if it goes off randomly for you and in general, if it goes off randomly, then that's why. And
Yeah.
we'll try and see if we can finish the questions in this video, and if not, then we'll do a quick few minute part 2 to finish
Yeah.
them. But
Yeah.
hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah. About how many more questions do you have anyway?
Not sure which one are we? I keep getting lost. I think 4 or 5 left.
Oh, okay. That's no problem.
Yeah, I think this is one about comics as well. Do you prefer Marvel or DC, and what is your favorite movie from both universes?
Oh yeah. I was more of a DC person growing up,
So,
but I'm more of a Marvel person now because, especially with the cinematic universe, I prefer the Marvel cinematic universe because like Marvel has more relatable characters. And that's something even going back and reading Marvel comics, you could relate with the characters more than you could like Batman or Superman. I was like, yeah, like Superman's an alien from another planet, and he's just a Mr. Good Guy, do-gooder, and it's got ridiculous powers. Batman is like an orphaned rich kid, so it's like who can really identify with that? But you could identify with Peter Parker. You could identify with the X-Men because they talk about racism a lot because they
and they're kind of like they're kind of like a mixture of people, because they're not all because they're not all rich and that really.
right.
Mostly just like Charles Xavier really that would be. It's
Yeah.
like a lot of them are just like they've got normal lives. Some of them might be poor, and they've just got if I was like Yeah, like Magneto, that might relate to some people because when he was a kid, his parents got dragged away during the war.
Yeah, it's just like I think Marvel knows how to make like the characters more relatable, and I think that's why I kind of prefer the Marvel ones now. But I mean, I still love my Batman. I love my Flash. I love my Superman. All that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
it's a close one. But yeah.
I think
Now
for me,
movie one.
I
Oh,
think
go ahead.
that's sorry. I think for me, my problem with is just that it's Warner Bros. Mostly, Warner Bros.
Hmm.
And Walter Hamada and Jeff Johns mostly. Jeff Johns mostly for the thing with Ray Fisher and Justice League, but the rest of them for especially Warner Bros. For not continuing the Snyderverse, and
Hmm.
it's like they're sticking with the 2017 Justice League for some reason. It's just like, why do you want that though? That's a movie that lost them their good reputation.
Yeah.
It lost them money because even if people didn't like Batman versus Superman, yeah, it made quite close to $1 billion. So it's like, why would you
Yeah.
not want to continue that? And already the Snyder cuts got so many numbers. It's done HBO Max really good.
Oh
And
yeah.
apparently they're wanting Ben Affleck back as Batman, and apparently the CEO of AT&T or Warner Media, Jason Kilar, I think. Apparently he's
Hmm.
quite a big fan of Snyder. He could actually get the Snyderverse continued. So
Interesting.
so that's what people have said. So now we're just trying to get it to him now.
Yeah. Well,
It's
we'll
like
see.
it seems like Warner Bros. Have got a weird attachment to the 2017 Justice League.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't think it through though. They just wanted to copy Marvel and just thought, quick, we need to make a movie. We need to make a movie.
Exactly. That's the thing.
But
They didn't spend the time fleshing out the characters before they brought them all together. So you didn't really care, but there wasn't that sense of urgency behind them as much. It's like it's. I look at Endgame and Infinity War, where it's like, yeah, you actually cared when the snap happened.
exactly,
You were gutted when Tony Stark dies. It's just
yeah,
like you're like, God, because you've been with these characters for so many films, so you've grown attached to them.
yeah, it's like, and yeah, it's them because like not everybody reads the comics and has grown up with
Yeah.
them like kids, but when you flesh them out in the movies, because everybody watches movies nowadays, but like they
Hmm.
brought Batman versus Superman way too early. I
Yeah,
think,
way too early. Way
yeah,
because you weren't because especially in that film you weren't really that attached to Superman because he was just kind of a moody jackass the whole entire time. So it's just like, eh. It's not like how with Tony Stark he went on that huge journey of being a very selfish billionaire that was making weapons of war, and he was a raging alcoholic, and he dealt with all of his demons, and he became just this very very good man by the end of all those films. And so you went on that journey with him, so you actually cared about him by the end.
yeah. I think, yeah, I think so. One of my favorite parts of that game is it's not even at the actual movie. It's just the end credit sequence when it goes through, all the characters,
Hmm.
with like, and then it does the original six at the end with the music.
Yeah.
Just like, I've seen that. I've just seen that in credit bits and over and over. I just
Oh, so good.
up there, and I was thinking, I've even tried to think of it through with how the DC could do it as
Hmm.
well.
Well, it's funny because like Endgame, Infinity War, and Justice League are like the same movie in so many ways.
Mm,
It's the same premise, so, like the big bad from another, outside, some alien big bad is trying to find these MacGuffins to help him take over or destroy
yeah.
the universe or the world. And and you have this one character that has to come back from the dead, or at least one character that has to come back from the dead to help fight the big bad. And it's just like, yes, basically the same movie, but I feel like Infinity War and Endgame handled it so much better.
I have said before that I do find it interesting the way that they did, instead of doing it like Superman 1, 2, and 3. I kind of like how they did the trilogy as Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Hmm.
And when I think about it, it is and it isn't supposed to be a Tony Stark death because you do feel bad for him, but
Yeah.
it's obvious he's going to come back because he's Superman. So it's just like, it's like if you stay dead for the whole universe, that just not work.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like,
But with that, it was still way too rushed, though. It's just like,
I always thought
that was such a monumental moment in the comics. So it's like they just kind of like shoehorned it into the last part of Batman versus Superman, and then in Justice League, they really don't even focus on it that much in the Snyder Cut. As much as they in the original version, they actually focused on Superman's death more.
I don't know. I've never seen the originally. I've just like after seeing everything and seeing clips, I'm just like I refuse to see what they did.
But like for most of like the Snyder Cut, you're like, oh yeah, Superman's dead. Oh yeah, we need to bring him back. Okay, let's bring him back.
I think that's mostly because for the first 2 hours they tried to flesh out more like Flash and Cyborg, because apparently they didn't do that at all in Justice League. But they made Cyborg the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
And they made Flash funny, and when he like I think the time travel sequence near the end when the mother boxes explode and then he runs faster than the speed of light. That's just the music and just the CGI and everything. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I hated his running though, his flailing his arms. I was like, oh, that looks horrible. No one runs like that.
I'm not as bothered by me. There's a lot of people have been complaining about that, but some people have said that it kind of like it could be similar, like it could feel similar to swimming, maybe kind of like that flow. Where it's like, when you're swimming, you have to like proper do that to get yourself moving. Maybe that's what he has to do. But
I don't know. I'm just so used to like John Wesley Shipp and Grant Gustin as Flash, so I'm just like
it don't bother me as much as running.
Yeah.
And some people have said he's just annoying when he's funny, but when I'm watching him, I'm just like, he's not. He's funny. I like him.
He's okay. I did think it was kind of weird how he's like, the whole scene with Iris, where the slow motion scene, he goes up and starts touching. I'm like, well, that's kind of like you don't know her yet. Why are you touching her like this? And then he touches a wiener. I'm like,
yeah, a lot of people had that reaction when they watched it. It's just like, oh my god. I think some people thought that they were going to put it in the mouth, and I was just like, why would you think that?
Oh, that would have been weird.
And I don't think they go that. I don't think they go that far.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just like, still, dude, you shouldn't be like just like brushing your hair and
it's just like,
oh, I'm like, no, that's creepy.
And then he just sprints away as fast as possible, just with a terrified look. It's just like, by her face, she does seem like she's not too bothered by it.
Yeah. Well, it all happened so fast, so she didn't even know. But that's the scary thing too. It's like he could have done whatever. And it's like, oh no, Me Too moment.
It's just like you're thinking though, 1 minute you've just crashed, and then another there's this random guy above you. It's just like, what happened there? And it's not where you come from. How did you do that fast?
Yeah. Well, who knows? We'll see what they do with the Flashpoint movie. So
I'm not as excited for that because it seems like they're ruining it. Because I mean, I do like that they're bringing Michael Keaton back, but I think they're doing all the big stories too early.
Yeah.
I thought now they should have done the Snyderverse as normal as like the main DCU or like the MCU. Yeah. And then when that's over, and do Flashpoint like the comics. Yeah. And then reset it so then they can do the multiverse thing that they want to do now. So I'm just like, why don't you just do both?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like they're trying to do everything too fast just to catch up to Marvel. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Plus, I think it's with the writers. If they only had the writers that they have for their animated films, because last night I watched Batman: Soul of the Dragon. I loved it. It was so good. It's just like the animated films are so good. They did the animated version of both the death and the return of Superman, and they did it so true to the comics. It was just like I loved it. I mean, they took some liberties, but they took their time with it and did it justice, I thought.
Yeah, apparently, I can't remember if they said it was Warner Bros. Or someone at DC, but apparently they forced Doomsday in at the end, and I'm unsure if they forced the Death of Superman storyline in it or not. But it doesn't surprise me because studios have done that before. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking they should have done it. It's clear they want to do the Dark Knight Returns adaptation. It's just like, You should have waited and
Yeah.
changed and done that. I thought do that with the Death of Superman storyline. So say like the first half of Batman versus Superman is a Dark Knight Returns as a way to retire Gordon and kill the Joker.
Hmm.
And then the second half is Batman versus Superman, and then Superman dying, and then he comes back for the third Justice League movie after we've had his movies and seen them all, and we love them all, and we went through them all, and then we care about the fight more. Like in Civil War, we've had the characters going on for years, and now they're fighting, and we care about it more.
That was probably one of my favorite fights I've ever seen in a comic book movie. Was the airport fight? I was like, that was so well done. That felt like a comic book come to life.
Yeah. I think though when that guy shows Tony that Bucky murdered his parents, and just the acting from all of them, the music, it's just like one of them moments where you just shocked, and then all three of them start fighting.
They all had their own moments to shine during it as well. So it was like every character had their moments during the fight. So it felt like a comic book fight. It was so grandiose and so good. Such a good fight.
Yeah, it's just I need to watch some of them again, because I think Infinity War might be better than Endgame. I think a better movie. I just think it's more blinded by that when you get to the ending of Endgame, when the portals and everyone comes back, and just when they go to fight, it's just, I think everyone's just blinded by the excitement, and since it's the last movie and the fighting once again. I think
I kind of just think of that as one big huge movie just broken up into two parts.
That's what it was supposed to be, which I think that was supposed to be like Infinity War Part 2. I think in Infinity War, my favorite scene is when Thanos comes to Wakanda and Wanda has to kill Vision. I think the acting from both of them, especially Wanda, the CGI, the music. I think I don't hear that many people talk about the Avengers music. So I think it's absolutely outstanding.
Oh, I do too. It's so good. It's so good. That and not Civil War, but Winter Soldier is such a good one too.
Yeah, I think I think I love hearing scores in movies. I love the score in Justice League as well.
Yeah.
It's not good. The music for a lot of scenes is really good. I think it would have been better if Hans Zimmer was still there, but I still think Junkie XL was still really good with the music.
Yeah.
That's just with the guitars and that. And I like Wonder Woman's updated theme as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it was used a little too much, because when you first heard it in like Batman vs Superman and heard it a couple of times in Wonder Woman, it was good, but now we've heard it a bit too much. It's just like you don't get as excited anymore.
Yeah.
I think when she first shows up in Batman vs Superman, when she blocks Doomsday's blast, when I watched the Ultimate Edition for the first time a couple of weeks ago, a month ago-ish, and when I saw that, I was just jumping about. That was for me, that felt like the moment when Captain America gets Thor's hammer in
Game. That's such a great moment in that movie. That was like one of those moments like, yes, okay, this feels good.
Yeah, that just sends everyone crazy. That.
Yeah. It almost makes up for Jesse Eisenberg. Sorry, my eye is watering like crazy all of a sudden. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm not as bothered by Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. It is a bit weird, but I still kind of like him. I think
it's not Lex Luthor though. That's the thing. It's just like that's not Lex Luthor at all, personality wise.
Not even close to Lex Luthor.
No, nothing like him. It's like it's like I still kind of wish they had gotten Bryan Cranston instead to play him.
Yeah,
that would have been like God. Because I always think of that scene where he goes and shakes Clark Kent's hand, and he's like, "Oh, that's quite a handshake you have." I was like, "No, that's not how Lex Luthor would have done it. Lex Luthor would have matched him and stared him right in the eyes and tried to squeeze back just as hard."
Yeah,
and he would have been. That's quite a handshake you have there.
Yeah, I think
been very serious.
I think it's not just the performance of Jesse Eisenberg. It's not bad, but it's not Lex Luthor. I think the way he's written as well, it's like it's not written as Lex Luthor, because a lot of the scenes and the dialogue, I can't picture the more older, kind of more intimidating, deep voice Lex Luthor. I can't picture him saying that all the time. But I do. I think that's one thing that distracts me. It's the same thing with Jared Leto's Joker in Suicide Squad, because it's like they are actually real in this universe. They are actually really dark, scary villains. Because when you think about everything they do, it is that they are actually really horrible, disturbing people. Like, because like when I think about it, even though this Joker seems ridiculous, when you think all the stuff he does, it's just
Mm-hmm.
like if you're going with him, he's just like above all every gangster. It's
Yeah.
just like that's you don't even want that guy to look at you
Yeah.
or speak to you.
It's just, but it's like when they wrote him, they didn't understand the character that they were writing, and
Yeah.
it's like the dialogue that Joker has. It's not Jokerish dialogue at
Yeah, well, I
all.
think
It's like his motivations are totally off.
the way he's like with Harley Quinn, it seems like because Joker he does love her, but he obviously doesn't at the same time.
Oh no, he doesn't love her at all. This is one of those things I love that they pointed out in Death of the Family. He's like he's always been using her as an ends to a means. He doesn't like, the only person he loves is Batman.
Yeah, yeah. I think, but they made it seem like he did actually care for and love her in that
Mm-hmm.
movie.
Yeah, and I was like, no,
It's just
not
like
at
made
all.
it a
Such
proper.
an abusive relationship. It's just
It's
she
like
loves him, but he does not reciprocate the feelings at all.
yeah, and they play it off as like an actual relationship. Just the girl being stupid by keep coming back
Mm-hmm.
to him over and over, but they break up so many times.
Yeah,
It's just like in the Suicide Squad, it's like they love each other, and then in Birds of Prey, it's just like, where'd this come from? It's
yeah.
just like it didn't play, it didn't.
It's
They
like when
didn't play it too well.
he was in his when he's surrounded by all the knives and he's just on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss her. I'm like, no, that's not Joker at all.
Yeah,
He would not be doing that. The only reason he would be upset about Harley being locked up is if he needed her for a plan.
yeah. Oh, sure. Oh, he didn't want. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he would not be like, oh, I miss her. He was just like, ooh, oh, her, yeah, she can rot.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I love it I was just remembering in Batman the Animated Series where Joker still hates her, but he's lost without her. 'Cause it's almost like he's like literally the husband doesn't who just don't do anything, and then as soon as she goes, he
Hmm.
doesn't know what to do. It's just like
Yeah,
it's funny what he says when he's just walking around. It's like, has anyone seen me socks? It's like you don't hear Joker say that ever.
yeah. But then he just pushes her right outside of a window and lets her
Oh
fall
god,
to
yeah,
her death. Just like
yeah.
he's like,
It's just like that's Joker and Harley, not what we're in
yeah,
Suicide Squad.
yeah,
But
very abusive relation. Oh, see, that's where Harley Quinn was originally created, was for the Batman animated series. So
yeah,
that's
I heard that. I didn't know that actually.
yeah. So that's the whole crux of the character. They created her right there on the show. So they established that relationship where it's just like, yeah, he really doesn't care about her in that way. She wants him, but he's like, I just need you for my plans.
Yeah. Next question. I keep losing the track again. I'm so bad at it.
Oh, don't worry about it.
What is the most recent movie you have watched?
Oh, well, yeah. Last night I watched like I said, Batman Soul of the Dragon. But most recent movie I've watched, I would say, would probably be Justice League.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
mine as well.
yeah, I watched that last week. I think I'm gonna try to watch King Kong versus Godzilla tonight, though.
I'm
Or
not.
Godzilla versus King Kong, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think it is Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
I think I'm not as interested in Godzilla and King Kong really. I think I'd probably still watch it at some point, but I'm not as
Yeah.
hyped for it, as I was for like Justice
Yeah.
League.
Yeah, the one I'm hyped for is the new Mortal Kombat movie. That looks like that's gonna be awesome.
But I think I mostly just wanted to start playing the Mortal Kombat XL because
Yeah.
it had Alien and Jason and Leatherface. It had all them in it. And I was just
Yeah.
like, ooh, they're in it. But I actually liked the game. I don't think I ever played the story. I just played like fights with my mates and just had single fights of just playing with all the characters because it was fun and was really like gory and brutal.
Oh yeah. So good. I love Mortal Kombat, so but it looks like this movie's gonna be good. It's just like it looks like the kills are gonna be good in this, and like the fights. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I do like Scorpion in it though. I just like played as him a couple of times and Sub Zero. They do seem pretty cool.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I just want. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I want to see like. Yeah, I don't know if they did it. I think I know there's an original movie, but I don't know if Scorpion did it when he throws the spear and goes, get over here, brings
Hmm.
him over there. I don't know if he did that, but in that movie, but it seems like it was more of a family friendly one. That one. So,
Oh yeah.
'cause
No,
of
they
the
did
events,
the get over here and there too.
did
Yeah.
the-
Get
It seems like
over here.
I'm hoping though if this new one's like going to be rated R and that and be more
Yeah.
brutal, so then you can proper throw the spear and proper go in there and we can see it and just be like, ooh.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think I need to see a trailer first. Have you seen the trailer for the Suicide Squad movie?
Yeah, looks decent. It looks better than the original Suicide
Yeah,
Squad. So.
I like it. I was surprised that Sylvester Stallone's voice in King Shark.
Oh yeah.
It's just like
yeah. Uh,
I didn't hear it at first, but I watched again and when he just goes, I was like,
yeah. I was
okay,
like,
it's his
oh yeah,
voice.
that is him.
I think King Shark's gonna be my favorite character in that movie.
Yeah.
I just love when it shows him. He just picks up that guy and just goes nom nom, and then just starts proper just eat. Yeah,
It
and
was
then
like I don't know if you've seen the Harley Quinn animated series.
I've seen a couple of episodes of it,
Yeah,
but
I love it. I think it's hysterical, and
yeah, it is funny.
right, yeah. The guy that plays King Shark on there is hysterical. He's just
Yeah,
great.
I think that's one of my favorite Jokers as well. I love his
Hmm.
voice and the way they wrote him as well. I think
Yeah, it
it's
was
just.
Alan Tudyk playing him too, so Alan Tudyk's just fantastic.
I think it reminds me of Mark Hamill as well, doing the stuff that Joker would normally do, like when Harley comes back in the first episode. He's trying to get the Netflix password.
Hmm.
It's
Oh,
just
so
like
funny.
just imagine Joker sitting on his couch just when he's not doing it, watching Netflix, just watching a sitcom or something.
They handled they handle that whole relationship between him and Harley Quinn very well on that
Yeah,
show.
yeah, because you could tell he hated it, but like when it was even better for him because he could keep doing it because she was so oblivious. But when she started
Yeah,
realized, it's just like, well, no, we didn't. No, we
yeah.
didn't. But then they had the fight at the end. Yeah, I think and then it just I just love I think that's something the Suicide Squad
Yeah.
should have done.
Yep. I agree.
Who is your favorite actor, past or present?
I would say Robin Williams.
Well, my mum
He
said the
was
same thing
some
actually.
Yeah, he could do everything. He could make you laugh your head off and then cry your eyes out in the same movie. He was so good. He was one in a million and one in a billion, I say. I was like, there's no one else like him. It's just like such a rare talent. The mind that man had, it was just fantastic.
I don't think I've seen too many movies with Robin Williams. I think I might have only seen Hook with him as
Hmm.
Peter Pan. Yeah, I used to love that movie when I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh, he's done so many. I mean, like you're used to his comedies, but you go back and you see something like Good Will Hunting or
Mm.
oh gosh, The Fisher King or something like that. He's just so good. He's just so. Or What Dreams May Come. That movie makes me bawl my eyes out every time I watch it.
Yeah, for me, yeah. I don't think I don't cry at movies that much anymore. I think the only movies that make me cry now is if the dog dies. That's
Yeah,
for me. If the dog dies, that's when I've lost it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh
like
yeah.
it's funny now when you see a movie and when there's a dog and it's just like there's a dog in the movie that's not good.
I was like,
They
oh
just
no,
they never make it out. I've seen
don't let him die.
I've seen clips of Marley and me and just like I don't think I'm ever
Oh
gonna
yeah,
watch one.
I just didn't even watch that movie because I'm like, I know what happens and I don't want to watch
Yeah,
that happen. No.
yeah. It's just like I've seen it. I was like I don't want to see the movie because it's because when you have a dog, it's just like when you've met a dog before, it's just like it's sad alone. But if you see the movie when you love the dog, that's the worst
Hmm.
part when they
Oh yeah,
build it up and then it just dies at the end. It's just like
that's too hard.
yeah,
And that goes all the way back to Old Yeller back in the day, where at the end they had to put him down because of rabies. It's just like, jeez.
yeah, yeah. I don't think I'm ever gonna watch
Yeah.
Marley and me.
Yeah.
It's just too sad. Yeah. If you could work with any director in the world, who would it be and why?
I think Tim Burton or Guillermo del Toro would be fun to work with.
Mm.
I think they have a really cool creative viewpoint on things. I think that would be fun. Gosh, I mean, Yeah. I think that would be fun. I think Judd Apatow would be fun too because I like comedy a lot. So he would be fun to work with. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I think I'm not sure who I would want to work with if I were like a writer or something. I think I want to say Christopher Nolan, but I don't know because I've only seen the Dark Knight trilogy, so I can't say
hmm
really. But the thing with me, I don't really have any favorite actors because I've seen their movies, but I was like, it's almost like I've seen one movie from each one.
yeah,
It's like for me, like I always kept trying to say like Joaquin Phoenix was my favorite actor, but I only said that because I've seen Joker.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's just,
Oh, he's really good though. I'm like, if
yeah,
you go back and watch him in Gladiator, he's fantastic in that. You
yeah,
just hate him so much. He's such, oh,
yeah. People have said I need to watch Gladiator
yeah,
because
that's a
it's
good
really
movie. It's a very good movie.
yeah. I've been watching. Yeah, I want to watch some more Zack Snyder films as well, like
hmm
300 and Watchmen as well.
Yeah, I actually was one of those people that actually like Watchmen. I thought that was a really good movie. It's very faithful to the comic. The one big difference between it is the ending, but I think the ending in the movie makes more sense than how it actually made what they did in the comic. So it's like, oh, I actually prefer the movie ending.
I
It
think
just
yeah,
makes more sense from a character narrative element.
I've seen like Leonardo DiCaprio as well. I've only seen him in two movies. I've
hmm
seen him in The Wolf of Wall Street and Titanic, and I think he's good in Titanic. But
Totally different roles.
in The Wolf of Wall Street, he's just I think he's incredible in that.
Oh god, the whole scene where he's drugged out of his mind trying to get in that car, I was like, that
Yeah,
was insane.
yeah. I think yeah, I love that movie. It's just
hmm
so funny. That I love Jonah Hill as well. He's a
Yeah,
really good actor as well in that movie. I think when they're both just drugged out of the mind, and then he's like on the phone and he's trying to stop him, and he's just because he's drugged, he's just laughing his ass off.
yeah.
It's just face just makes me laugh so much. I
Oh,
think
I understand that Jonah. I think it was Jonah that got really sick during the movie when the scene where he's eating all the sushi
mm,
because they kept on doing take after take after take, and I think they were intentionally just making him have to do take after. He had to keep eating sushi. And he's just like, oh, he got sick from it.
I've never tried sushi before.
I'm not a big fan. I like my food to be cooked.
I think the scene where Leo and Margot Robbie are having their like fight at the end,
Mhm.
they're both really good in that scene. I think
Oh yeah,
it's like it's like scary. It's so realistic as well.
yeah.
It's like it's it's like you just feel bad for the kid as well. It's like they have to hate this all the time. But I think that's even without seeing loads of his movies, I could still say that's just one of his most best performances.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm on the last question now. Actually,
Awesome, we've made it.
imagine when I stop now, just something goes wrong. Now I'm just
Uh-oh.
watching back up, and I'm just like, so this, what has kept me going? What has kept me going through the pandemic?
Ah, boy, I think for me it's just been gosh, I'd say be able to still find ways to do my art, no pun intended, but also just keep in contact with the fans and stuff like that. I've
Yeah,
been doing a lot of podcasts, and I think that's helped me keep going.
yeah,
Just keep on. Even I haven't been able to see people physically in person. I've still been able to interact with people constantly
yeah,
over Zoom and stuff like that.
yeah,
That's helped me through all this. Plus a lot of video games and a lot of movies.
yeah, yeah,
Been doing a lot of that.
yeah, yeah, that and just food for me.
Oh yeah, that too. I gained a little bit of weight. I'm having to work it off now.
So my like that's what I mean when I did the mile run earlier. I just
Yeah.
died because I ain't exercising quite a while.
Oh yeah.
I just I just kept eating and eating. Just,
Yeah.
I'm really unfit now.
But I'm supposed to get my first dose of the vaccine next week, so I'm excited about that. So
Yeah,
I'm ready to get all vaccinated so I can go back out in public and hang out with people again, start
yeah,
doing conventions and all that fun stuff.
yeah. It's good.
I've
It'd be good.
missed it.
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, I hope you're able to come to one of the horror cons at some point in the UK.
Oh yeah, they asked me to come out to for the Love of Horror this year, but I actually have a convention already scheduled in Germany that same weekend. I'm like, oh, so hopefully next year I can come out.
Yeah, yeah. I think the convention I went to, John Carroll Lynch was supposed to be there playing Twisty as well. He was supposed to be there, but
Oh wow,
I think there was something going on with his family or daughter or something. She was ill, so he couldn't come.
oh
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
I've never seen American Horror Story, but I've seen his clips as Twisty the Clown, and he's
Oh, he
quite
was
creepy.
great. He
And
was so creepy. He was the
it's,
best part of that show.
I think just when he's the way he looks and just when he breathes alone, just when he's just proper huffing and puffing, it's just like,
Hmm.
"Ugh."
Oh, so creepy, so creepy. He was so good. When they killed him off on there, I was like, no, he's the best part. But oh well.
I think, yeah, definitely. I'll have to say, yeah, I'll have to start watching American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see it. I've seen him when he, I think I saw the clip when he was at the field with that woman and her boyfriend, and he was trying to win
Yeah.
her over, but she was starting to like, when she was like calling him stuff and that, he just got mad and then he just had like a metal thing and then killed the boyfriend and then just ran after
Yeah.
her. He's just, I think the way he looks when he's just stabbing him like that, and then just it's just one of them things where I hear it in horror stories where you see it and then he
Hmm.
looks at you and he sees you, and that's when you just like that's the scariest bit when you just like
Yeah.
that's when you just have to start running and never look back.
It's like, just run.
Yeah, that's the
Just
same thing with
go.
in Terrifier as well. That's I love the scene when uh at stalking Tara and walking around. It's just one of them scenes where it's just like does he know where she is or does he actually not? It's just like
Hmm.
and when you can tell he does and he's about to look around and she's like he's so close he's gonna see her and then she throws something at last minute and then he gets distracted and he's like oh no
Yeah.
never mind she's actually over
Yep. I thought that was a smart move. I was like, that's
there.
that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, what? Oh, she's over here now.
Yeah, I think it was a cool jump scare when it stabbed her in the ankle as well. I was like, well, so
Yeah.
it's like even though it still did come from behind you, I didn't expect it to start like that.
Hmm.
So it's just like you'd expect him to just like jump out or something, but then all of a sudden she's getting stabbed in the ankle. It's just like, well,
Oh
didn't
yeah.
expect
That freaked out a lot of people.
that. I think Terrifier is definitely my favorite horror movies though.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Well, I hope part 2 is gonna make you'll love it just as much.
I guarantee it will.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 2 hours of art. There's about 2 hours of art killing people. That's just
Yeah.
everything a horror fan could want.
I don't think it will let you down. I have a lot of confidence in this film. It's just there's so many scenes that we filmed. I can't wait for people to see this scene and this scene and this
Yeah,
scene and this scene. I'm like, oh, it's exciting.
I can't wait to see. I want to see Sienna. I want to see the fight between Sienna and Art as well, especially
Oh,
when.
it's a good one. It's a very good one.
Mm, yeah, I want to see the scene that Demon's talked about before, where I think it's you go to a nightclub or something, and they're all in there, and it's just a huge massacre. Because I've heard him talk about that before. And
We'll see.
I'm just, she's just said before, it's just like, we'll need loads of extras and special effects because it's just
Hmm.
like, he's just, he's described it as like the Art the Clown version of the prom scene in Carrots. I'm just like, ooh,
Oh, you'll see. You'll see.
I'm really excited for it.
Yeah. I can't wait to get it out to everybody.
We're all definitely gonna watch it. I think. Yeah, me and my dad
Yeah.
have been talking about it. It's just like we've been talking about as anticipated movies. It's just like, I'm quite excited for Terrifier 2 actually.
Yes.
I think, I think I can't wait for all the horror movies to come out though as well. I haven't seen any
Yeah.
in a while. I want to see the
I was.
Collector 3 as well.
Hmm.
That's it. We watched the Collector 1 and 2 and they're actually both really good actually. They were both really gory and like I think it's Arkin or something. I love his character as well because it's like I think it were a good I want him and the Collector to have like a proper good final fight because
Yeah.
like when he does that in the second movie, it's just like after everything he's been through with him, it'll just be massive because he just wants to kill him now after everything's put him through.
Yeah, we got a lot of good movies coming out this year. We got, Spiral, the Saw
Yeah,
sequel.
I want to see
We
that.
got Candyman. We got Halloween. It's like Terrifier 2.
Yeah, I think my most anticipated ones is probably like, I don't know what order, but probably the Collected, Terrifier 2, Halloween Kills, and what was it, Scream 5, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that comes out too.
Yeah, I definitely want to see another Scream movie.
Oh, me too. I love those movies.
I think the first one's the best, definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think the opening's probably the best scene in all of the movies.
Oh, it's a great scene. Such a great scene.
It's like I think the voice sounded like it kind of changed a little bit in the other ones, and I think it kind of went a bit too much with him being obsessed with movies, like saying this isn't a comedy, it's a horror, explaining all that. I think the first movie I think it was done really well. But obviously you could tell it was like a horror fan gone too far, but not too much. I think it's just like the kills, it's really disturbing. It's just like that's quite realistic as well, because that can actually happen. You can get called up like that randomly.
Yep. I would not want to go out that way.
They were brutal kill as well, actually.
Oh yeah.
They stabbed her over and over, and then someone pointed out you could see the intestines like steaming as well. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So
it's
I was
like,
just oh God, yeah. It's just God. I think it's bad. It's like worse for the parents as well, because it's just like you wanted to believe it's one of them situations where they're just out with the mates and that. But then,
they come home and
then you just come out the door and just see that hanging off the tree. And,
oh my God, I can only imagine that would just be so. Oh. Heartbreaking too. It's just like
I think that's it for the questions now.
All right, cool.
Hopefully
we made it then. Yeah. We made it.
I'll find out afterwards. But either way, I'm still really happy I got to do this.
Oh yeah, this is fun, dude.
It was. I'm so glad I got to do it.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to pull it off finally. So.
Yeah. I need to think this through a bit more next time.
Yeah. You got it.
I think that's it then, guys. Thank you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you.
It's been a really good time. Hopefully, maybe in the future, we could do this again. Hopefully.
Of course, yeah. Especially after part 2 comes out, there's going to be a lot more to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll definitely have to try to do this in the future after part 2 comes out. Yeah, it'd be good to finally talk about it without having to hold up so many spoilers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I can spill the beans on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Thanks again for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
It's been so
you take care and you have a good day. All right.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
All right. Stay safe.
See you later.
All right. See ya.